Hey, good morning, Bill. 076 waving.
Hello, John.
You just fire up the radio right now?
Yep.
Yeah, sounds like it's kind of off and on all morning. We're getting a lot of short skip and then some one-way from the East Coast.
Hey, Roger, I just walked in the door. I got a whole bunch of fish to clean. I got some crabs, got a couple of lobsters and a few other things. So I got my hands full. I'll be listening.
Hey, Roger, on that. Were you down by the harbor this morning?
Down there since 4.
Oh, geez. All right. Well, I'll let you get to it, boy. You sound like you got a bounty of good stuff there.
Yeah, I got urchins and some halibut, even got some salmon and a little bit of everything, you know.
Roger on that. Sounds good, Bill. Okay. Just wanted to wave a quick hand to you, sir.
Roger.
Hey, Bill, remember all that stuff, like with the trees and everything, and just everything's disappearing?
Dude, you see down there towards like Wells Road and shit, it went past Kibble now, man. They're just plowing down all those trees and build them all the way up to damn Foothill, dude. They're stacking them high, dude. Like 3-4 stories high, undercar garages and the whole enchilada. Dude, it's crazy. I haven't been down there like about a year and a half, 2 years, and I'm thinking, shit, they probably took another 500 acres of citrus trees out, you know, and put down the low-income housing.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty sad. I mean, even like look at like back where like Walmart is, like in Oxnard, that was all fields, and now it's just all houses. And yeah, when you drive through Ventura, like when I was a kid, like all the citrus and just like you were saying, the walnut trees, avocado and everything, even like up in Santa Barbara, Carpentry, everything is gone now. It's just ridiculous.
I'll put it this way, everything above Ventura College, Loma Vista, everything from Day Road above Loma Vista used to be all lemon orchards. Everything from Victoria and Loma Vista, you know, east of that was all avocado trees. And everything above that, above Loma Vista up there in Foothill was all, avocados and walnut trees.
Yeah, Roger. I wonder if the people got a good price to sell off their land, because I could imagine selling their produce made them lots of money. I wonder if they were like strong-armed, or if it was eminent domain, or what happened there. Because yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, I got a best friend, Scott Hill, Bud Hill, the Hills family. They own basically all of Aliso Canyon, all the way from Foothill, all the way back to the, basically all the way to the top of, what do they call that thing, a mountain up there, I'm thinking in the back, I can't even think of it right now. I mean, basically a Sulphur Mountain Road, from all the way from Foothill all the way to Sulphur Mountain Road, and all the way basically to almost to Santa, what do they call it, they own that whole entire valley. I mean, shit, I think it was like 25, I think at the beginning it was like over 5,000 acres.
Oh, geez. So, yeah, are they selling everything off? Is that what they're doing?
Well, Bud passed away like 3 years ago, and then he got remarried to this, I don't want to say skank, but anyway, and then she just says, here, I'm selling everything, and I'm going to take everything and move away and go back, I don't know, live happily ever after, dude. They subdivided the property and shit. I mean, I've never even been up there in Aliso Canyon, but I mean, they own from side to side and all the way back to Sulphur Mountain Road, all the way back to Ojai, dude. Crazy.
Yeah, I know. And then it's sad, like when you see old pictures, I mean, from not even that long ago, and you go, wow, that's how it used to be, and then you look now and you're just like, just terrible.
Well, put it this way, I know you're giving me goosebumps, dude. Go to Toppers there on, was it Main Street, I guess, or Telegraph? Was there by Big Five? Go in there and look at some of the old pictures. You know, look at like Seaward, look at, you know, the old coast, you know, look at Harbor Boulevard. I mean, it was all like swampland, dude. That's all reclaimed land, dude. All those houses there in Pierpont, dude, when I first moved here, those houses were not here.
Yeah, I remember when they were like still building some of that stuff, and yeah, it's crazy. I think even that geez, that donut store, that AA Donuts down there in the Vons on Seaward had some pictures like of the harbor when there was nothing. And then like you said, yeah, toppers, yeah, it's pretty crazy when you see all that stuff.
Exactly. I mean, basically from Seaward all the way to Victoria on Channel Island and Victoria, everything east of Harbor Boulevard, or not east, but south to the beach, there was nothing, dude. It was desolate. It wasn't even farmland, dude. It was swamp.
Yeah, roger on that. And then, yeah, because you could drive on Harbor and you would rarely see a car. Now it's just bumper to bumper. Just, I mean, everybody cutting through to get to Oxnard, and yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
It turned into a shortcut. Now it turned into a speed trap. It's kind of like right there when you leave Spinnaker Drive and you come going toward, I guess you would go, southeast, I guess, from Harbor, actually north. Now I'm thinking northwest. Harbor coming out of Spinnaker Drive. When you go back where they store all that dry storage for the boats right there, got a highway patrol or a motorcycle cop. When you first pass that boatyard right there, they hang out right there with radar, dude. It's only 40 miles an hour right there, and everyone's doing 60.
Oh yeah, and I lived down there off of Harbor for like 16 years, and I remember when I first moved there, it was pretty quiet, and then I'd say right around maybe before COVID, it just started getting so bad down there, and like you said, like right there at that last entrance to the Keys, I remember people would just gun it and like just get going like 60, 80 miles an hour right through there.
Well, exactly, dude. And it's like crazy. It's like I forgot. I was leaving the harbor. And I was down there, like I said, 4 o'clock in the morning, helping fishermen and just help them offload boats and sell fresh fish off the fisherman's market there. And man, it's like I got out of there and it's like, man, I got a fish so bad. I'm thinking, oh shit, if I make it a chevron, at least I can. And I started hauling out. And next thing you know, it's like I was probably up to like 60. And next thing you know, this car comes full. I mean, dude, I had to piss so bad, I think it is shit. It's like, dude, I'm gonna shit my pants. I go, dude, I'm gonna fucking pull over and go in the ditch and shit in the ditch on the side of the road. And a car went flying by me, and I pulled, dude, I was already up to like 60, probably up to 70, dude. And I go, I'm not gonna make it, dude. I put the brakes on, I pulled on over, and I'm running for the ditch. And next thing you know, I see the lights turn on, and I see it wasn't highway patrol, a guy with radar, and I literally stopped. I mean, right on the side of the road, and I was probably less than, probably 25 yards away from, like right there with the boatyard, dry storage, just looking at him. Car went flying by me, and dude, he was out of there, dude. Fucking whoop, and lights are on.
Oh man, that is a funny story. Holy smokes, yeah. I haven't been down there for a little bit, but I'll have to be careful next time I go by there. But I usually just cruise through there anyways. Yeah, because I just let everyone go by me doing their 60 miles an hour.
No, but I knew I wasn't going to make it, dude. I had like about 30 seconds, dude. I slammed on the brakes, and I pulled over the shoulder of the road. I figured I'll open up both doors, I'll run to the ditch and jump over into the ditch to do number 2. And next shit, it's like I'm seeing the lights turn on, and I thought he was going to come for me, and he's going down the street after this other guy.
Oh man, that is too funny, too funny. Yeah, that's when I was working over there back behind Target. I was coming home one day, and somebody wrecked and went into a ditch, and they blocked traffic. Same thing. I just had to pee really bad, and then it's kind of the same thing. I wasn't going to make it, so yeah, I just pulled over the side of the road, ran into the lemon orchard, and took a pee real quick, and then hopped back in the truck and didn't move for a half an hour.
No, dude, it was like crazy. Dude, even they had barricades because they were putting that big pipe in the middle. Remember when they were putting that big pipe in the middle of the road?
Yeah, along Harbor the whole way.
Exactly, dude. I think I might have knocked over one of the barricades, dude. It's like, man, it's not going to work, dude. And it's like they have that thing so blocked on up. It was kind of like, dude, I got to get to the side of the road quick. And the other car passed. And I probably hit up to like 70, 80, dude. And I'm thinking, dude, I'm not going to make it, dude. I was like, pulled on over. It's the car flipped by me. And I'm thinking, oh, there's the lights. And I was like, look at the guys. They was probably not even 25 yards ahead of me across the street right next to that little channel, that little, what they call it, the runoff for the rain thing, where that little bike path is, right just past the dry storage for the boats. And he was off like lightning. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh man, that's too funny. That is too funny. What about those bathrooms down by the boat launch? Are those public, or do you have to have a key or an entry to get in those?
It's all public.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I always forget those are there.
The ones you got to worry about is the ones in the harbor. I mean, the ones on the pay side. I mean, dude, it's crazy. I was going to say that. I said I've been down there since 4 this morning. And it was kind of like you look at the kiddie beach, and on the very end out towards Island Packers, that parking lot there is like half full. And you look at on the outside on the main road that comes on in, there's no place to park because you don't have to pay. No one wants to pay.
Yeah, I noticed that every time I would go down there. Yeah, everybody's just parked on the street. And then I think last time they said it cost more to pay the people than they were making as far as parking fees.
Well, I know. It's like I go, how do you enforce this thing? And it's like, I go, dude, it's like, I had my boss or a friend of mine, he's a commercial fisherman. He probably caught like an extra, I don't know, 100 pounds of crab. And I'm thinking, man, I can give some to here, give some to here. It's better to give than to receive. Giving people crab, it's like, here, you want some crabs? Here, you want some crabs? They probably have like 200 pounds of crab. It's like, here, I got to go. I'm going to be back in another like 2-3 weeks. And I'm not going to see you and stick them in the harbor for, 2 to 3 weeks in that harbor. Because that harbor, it's all the runoff from all the farm fields.
Yes, yeah, there's some nasty water that goes in there. I've seen it after the rains, all the pipes over by that hotel or whatever, just pumping all that nasty stuff in there.
Well, dude, I mean, I've been here for almost 50 years. But, when they get too much runoff, when they got the big rains, literally, fish don't even, literally a couple times, it's basically, I want to say like El Nino or whatever. Basically, I don't know if you've ever been down there.
My battery's
where
dying.
every damn fish, and it's like red tide in the harbor, and, you got fish floating everywhere. I got a couple of friends of mine, they were paying them $2,500 or $5,000 a day just to take dead fish out of the harbor.
Yeah, I could believe that, because boy, if they didn't take care of that, it would smell bad.
Oh yeah, it's fucking nasty. I get $500 a day just to go out there and scoop dead fish out of the harbor.
Yeah, Roger on that. Can you imagine if they just let it sit what all the people in the Keys would do if they started getting the smell of rotten fish blowing through there?
You just think of that place out there in South Central or whatever, that big food factory thing that burned down, and they got to take all that toxic waste, all the meat and vegetables and everything that are rotten dead, and I forgot how many million tons of rotten food. Now, so a lot of the residents around that place, they're trying to sue for the smell.
Oh yeah, I could imagine that. Oh, that would be, yeah, if you're on the wrong side of the wind there, boy, it would be bad. So I remember when I was living down there by the harbor, even that outer jetty, when the wind would come in just right, oh boy, did it stink.
Yeah, you got to realize in the morning, you got the onshore breeze. So in the morning you go down, what I call it the shit factory or whatever, waste treatment plant right there. In the morning, oh boy, does the harbor stink. But then in the afternoon, when you got that offshore breeze and blowing it across the, what they call it, harbor and Spinnaker Drive there, inland, it's all farm fields there. But dude, I'd hate to live there if someone build a house, and they're going to do it eventually, but dude, it's one place I wouldn't want to live.
Yeah, if you were right across from the sanitary thing when you get the poop smell blowing in. Yeah, because I remember when we'd go surfing down there, like when we were kids in the 80s and 90s and stuff, and oh my God, it was so bad. It's still bad.
Hey, it's bad in the morning, but about 10 o'clock when the wind changes, and it kind of lessens up. And like I said, we're lucky we live so far away from the beach. But I miss the old days, dude. I mean, when there was no government center, it used to be lemon orchard, and basically and then even past Telephone Road, it used to be like bean fields. They used to grow what they call it, celery and asparagus, and it was nice, dude. I mean, shit, I used to drive out of the driveway. Shit, I think I was 10, 11 years old with a 12 gauge and a 38 on my hip. Shit, I used to drive my little 1270 all the way to State Street in Santa Barbara and going up and down State Street and ride the railroad tracks all the way back, going up and down the road to Lock and Cheetah and, Emmawood and whatever, and go out there and hunt rabbits and quail or whatever.
Yeah, Roger on that. Back in the good old days when we could actually be kids and do fun things. Nowadays, you can't do anything. It's, I wonder if the kids nowadays, like, well, they wouldn't know because they weren't kids, but, I think we had it good, and then I bet you there's people older than us going, oh, these guys don't know how we had it, so I don't know. I think it's just getting worse and worse for every generation.
Hey, it's kind of weird. Then I got into it. I mean, it's like when I started working for Shell and Lamet and stuff like that in the oil field, and it's like, oh, I go, man, I've been on these trails for 10 years. You can't tell me a trail that I haven't been on, It's kind of like from basically Upper Hawaii all the way to Fillmore and Thousand Oaks, along the ridge, I've been up and down all those roads.
Yeah, Roger on that. Have you been on the ones that are like, like behind like Emmawood and Faria and Lock and Cheetah? Like, because I know there's a lot of trails back in there too. Have you been on all those ones?
Yep, all the way to Santa Barbara.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I was looking on Google Earth, and holy smokes, I didn't realize there were so many of those trails back there.
The nice ones are the ones that you get up there, you go down like the 118, the back way to go to the 118, and you get on that big ridge up there, above like Briggs Road. You go towards Santa Paula, and then you go to like Briggs Road, and then you look on the mountain there I would say on the Camarillo side or Thousand Oaks side. I had a friend of mine, Jelly, owned I think it was like 3,000 acres right there above Briggs Road, and shit, me and my brother used to go up and down that thing back in shit the early 80s, man. We'd go up there and shit, we'd go just ride our bikes all night long, getting rabbits or whatever, do what young kids do,
Yeah, Roger on that. Yeah, that's and I remember back like the old Indian Dunes days when you'd head up towards Magic Mountain.
Oh, dude, I've been above Indian Dunes, that whole ridge, basically from, Kimball, I guess. You get up at Kimball, and then you take the 118 to go the back way, that whole ridge where they got the golf course there, and that whole ridge, and they got like a little water conservation thing. They got like what they call a canal, and I used to have the canal keys, and I go back there and they go all the way to the back side of, or the other side of the canal, which is on the other side of Briggs Road, and go up on the mountain there. And I used to take that all the way to damn Magic Mountain.
Oh, dang, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I've never done that. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, so I started off with my Trail 70, and I got an XR75, and I go, this XR75, like then I went to the XL250, and I'm thinking, man, it's like, man, even that thing back in like 84, then I got my YZ, my water pumper, my two-stroke, and boy, that was a hill climber, dude. Then I could really go anywhere. It's kind of like, some of these mountains, it's kind of like, it was like what they call like Ballinger, where you got some of these hills, they're so steep, and shit, I was so damn dumb and stupid, I go, shit, some of the times I made it to the top, but when I came down the thing, by the time I got to the bottom of the road, shit, I just sitting there overshooting the road and going into the creek.
Oh man, that's too funny. Yeah, the Trail 70s, I remember my buddy had two Trail 50s back in the 80s, and we built a motorcycle track in his backyard. He had a big piece of land, and we built a motorcycle track. And with this antenna, because I know there was days like you could talk to people, but I couldn't talk to them. So yeah, between like the horizontal and vertical, yeah, it does different things.
That's kind of crazy. I mean, I got this and sometimes it works better, and sometimes the Antron works better, you know. They're almost about 5-10 feet in difference, but that ground wave, sometimes it makes a big difference.
Does the Colossal work better for when you're talking skip over the Antron, or vice versa?
Vice versa, dude. It doesn't really make a difference. Sometimes it works better, sometimes it works. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah, it's funny. Like even sometimes, like I'll go hop in my mobile, and I'll have better luck in the mobile than I will off the base.
You know, sometimes I hear people talking. I can't hear on a Colossal, 5/8 ground plane, and I hear better on an Antron that's 10 feet lower.
Yeah, Roger on that. Yeah, sometimes like I'll go check those like SDR things that people do, or the computer stuff, and I'll listen to a station in like South Carolina or something when we had skip, and I'll just see if I can hear people from our area talking, and then usually I can hear you and Pete coming in really good, and like I'll just be listening. Hey, there's Bill, or hey, there's Pete, and yeah, usually you sound really good when you're talking and you're hitting the East Coast.
Usually do good in the evening, on the Colossal, Australia, the elevation, but usually on the ground, early morning skip, usually the Antron, the lower to the ground seems to work better for me. In the evening, the higher it goes, the better it works in the evening.
Yeah, when you're getting those guys out in Australia and stuff, because usually you seem like you have really good luck getting those guys out there.
Yeah, I think it's just, you gotta get it right at that peak of that, what they call it, when they go right over when the sun sets. And then basically, it's hard to believe they're 18 hours ahead of us. Shit, they're almost one whole day ahead of us,
Yeah, on the gray line, yeah, when conditions are coming up and just getting ready to go out.
Yeah, when everything starts fading out over here, then all of a sudden, boom, Australia comes in.
Yeah, it's right when I usually, if I work till 4:30, right when I'm coming home, driving along the coast there, they'll usually boom in pretty good. But if I get off work at 3:30, I usually don't hear them until when I get closer to home.
Exactly, it's about 5 to about 8. But every once in a while, we'll hang on a little bit longer,
Yeah, lately I just do my 20-minute talk on my drive home, and then I just come home and relax. And I haven't really had the radio on in the evenings, so I haven't noticed if Australia's been coming in or not.
It's kind of crazy. I was here in Louis out there in with that 176 Trevor. Kind of crazy, like early in the morning, about like 4 o'clock in the morning, because their 4 o'clock in the morning is like, I guess, what it'd be like 8 o'clock in the afternoon, I guess.
Yeah, they're a day. Yeah, they're a day ahead of us. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
18 hours.
Yeah, I'm always trying to figure out when we're in the afternoon, like, oh yeah, it's morning over there. I always forget it's morning for those guys. I wish we had conditions in the morning here at that time.
You gotta figure, if we're hearing them here at like, say, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, our next day.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we're time traveling. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I wish we rarely get conditions like earlier than 9 a.m. out here. It's always pretty quiet until the sun gets up a little.
I just wish they would have like some Australian lotto tickets, play a Fantasy 5 or whatever, and I'll get an 18-hour heads up.
Yeah, really? Get the numbers and buy them up, and then you can time travel.
It only takes 6 numbers, baby. You're set for life.
Yeah, Rajo, like, get on the news. Yeah, I won the Australian lotto, but I'm in California.
18 hours behind you.
Oh man, that's too funny.
Wouldn't that be kind of cool though? It's like Australia's gonna start playing the lotto at California time.
We'll have to relay some of those guys. Hey, if you guys chip in a little, we'll get you the numbers.
Here's the numbers. Here, we'll split it 50-50. Shit, I think that one was, dude, close to $1 billion, dude. And that last time, a couple of months ago, it was almost $1 billion.
Yeah, that would be nuts. Could you imagine though, like if you won that, like all the vultures that would be coming after you?
Well, yeah, I think the one person that won, I believe was in California. I think it was out there in Louisiana, Alabama, or Texas, or I mean, I don't even think they came to identify themselves, dude. If I won a lot, if I won that much money, dude, I would vanish, dude. I'd buy about 3 or 4 houses. I'd buy one probably in Washington or Oregon. I'd buy another one probably in the Virgin Islands, and another one probably, I don't know, probably in the Philippines or something. I'd be a time traveler.
Yeah, Roger on that. I've seen there's ways where you can set it up where you can stay anonymous, like kind of like those LLC things, but so they can put you so far back in it that like it would be really hard for people to find out who actually won. But I think you got to go through all kinds of lawyers, and then by the time you're done with that, you probably lose all your money from the lawyers anyways. But yeah, California, I think that no matter what, they always give up your info.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever heard White Rat. He won the lottery. Shit, he was driving around Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Teslas, all this other kind of weird, all these exotic foreign Ferraris in Thousand Oaks, Simi Valley. I forgot how many millions of dollars and then shit. And then I forgot what happened. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to go into detail exactly what happened, but money doesn't buy you happiness. Money just probably just causes you. I'd rather have, well, put it this way, if I had $1 million, I'd buy one nice house, maybe a nice, put it this way, if you won $2 million, I'd buy one nice house where I wanted, probably Oregon, Washington, and one probably in Florida. And that would be good. You get like 5-10 million. You buy one in California, you buy one in Florida. And you'd be a snowbird, even in Oregon. To be honest with you, dude, I like Oregon and Washington. I like, going up there catching salmon up there in Coos Bay and, up there in Sitka and everything else. It's beautiful country, dude. And going to buy a place, a lodge up there for, $500,000, no big deal. Another place in Oregon, maybe like 3 or 4 houses, but I just can't handle the snow, dude. I go up there during the summertime, not during the winter.
Yeah, Roger on that. Yeah, I've been in the snow about 3 or 4 times and hated every single time I was in it. Back in up until about the mid-90s, my family had some property, like a little ranch, right over the California border into Oregon on the coast. And then my grandmother ended up selling everything, but it was super cool when we were kids to go up there, and then we'd travel around the coast of Oregon.
Well, I don't know if you ever took, what was it, 262, Frankville, whatever, Frank, I think it's Frank, 262. He lived up there in North Dakota.
I think I've talked to him before.
Yeah, the craziest thing is I own 180 acres up there in Minot, North Dakota.
Huh, yeah, I think it's too cold up there, though.
Exactly. 8 months out of the year, it's frozen, dude. It's like frozen tundra. The thing is, I don't own the land. I own all the mineral rights. So it's kind of crazy because about, 10 years ago, they called me on up and says, they called my mom. It's like, where's your sisters and your brother and everything else? It's kind of like, well, you inherited this property up here. You don't own the land. You own all the mineral rights. And they want to put oil wells on it, so I got oil wells. But my dad's brother was up there. Actually, my dad's brother and my dad's dad were up there prospecting, for diamonds and rubies and gold and silver and everything else. So they bought the mineral rights. They basically staked a claim up there. So for the mineral rights.
Hey, Roger. Well, that's what you want, the mineral rights. It'd be nice to own the land too, but the mineral rights, that's what everybody wants. So if you got that, you're pretty much golden there.
Well, the thing if I go up there and buy some property, I don't have to worry about drilling a well. You know, water or anything that comes out of the ground belongs to me.
Yeah, exactly. So you're good there. You maybe just have to lease a little part of the land, and then or make a deal with them. Say, well, if you cut me a deal here, I'll cut you a little deal on some of these mineral rights.
Well, exactly. We kind of like Beverly Hillbillies, you know. Let me tell you about a man named Bill. It's like went down the hill and it comes up a bubbling gold, you know. Well, the gold or the black crude, black gold, it's already there. So I'm gonna go up there and do it. Maybe I'm not thinking about going up here.
Yeah, I wish my truck had cruise control. I don't have cruise control. When I bought mine, I just wanted a base model. I wanted a stick shift, and I didn't want any carpet in it. I wanted roll down windows in case I drove it into a lake, and I just told him I didn't want anything fancy on it.
Roll down windows in case you drive into a lake, or in case your battery goes dead and you can't get out.
Yeah, really. That was like the old guy in Santa Barbara when the power went out and he was in his garage and he's like, I was trapped. I thought I was going to die. And then you see the news person, you see this little red cord. If you pull down on that, you can lift it up. He's like, oh, wow, I never even knew that.
You just drive around with a hammer in your center console in case, like the ice road truckers, you know, you sit there and break out the hammer and bust the windows out.
Yeah, I keep one of those pocket knives like right on my little side thing. It's got the cutter thing for the seat belt, and then it's got the little end thing so you can punch out a window. I always keep one of those just in case.
You know, those little diamond tip little window, what were they? Kind of thing like a little center punch tool. You just push it on there and it pops and the window goes.
Yeah, so it's one of those. It's got the pocket knife on it, and then it's got one of those poker things for knocking out the window, and then it's got that side deal so you can cut your seatbelt off if you get trapped.
Well, I got one of those from the military from my dad in the Air Force. It's called a parachute cutter, you know. Even I got like a miniature. I won't say miniature. It's like what they call it, machete. And that thing's so damn sharp, dude. If you dropped it on your foot, it would cut your whole foot off.
Oh, geez, yeah, that you keep that with you, or I mean, yeah, I'd hate to get pulled over with something like that, but man, that would be a good one to have right there.
No, it's retractable, dude. It's like a retractable machete, dude, and it's got like a shield on it, and it freaking folds out like a switchblade, dude. And it's got like a 1.5 foot long blade, and that thing is razor sharp, dude. Guaranteed, it'll cut toilet paper.
Nice, that would be an awesome one to have right there. Is that the one for cutting like the parachute cords?
That's on the other end of it.
Oh, okay.
And I got a couple other ones. I got my dad used to fly with the Flying Tigers. I got a whole bunch of Flying Tigers. I got a whole bunch of old Zippo lighters with Flying Tigers back in, right before they even flew jet engines back in to the early 50s.
Nice, those are some good collectibles right there.
Yeah, I got some old. I got a Zippo lighter. Like the old, you know, we put the what do they call it, the lighter fluid or whatever. Shit, I got one that was actually on the SR-71 Blackbird.
That would be pretty awesome right there. Yeah, have you ever? I don't know if the one down at that museum down in San Diego, they have a big old SR-71 Blackbird out there. I don't know if it's real or not, but it was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I got a couple of ones. Actually, I got a guy, now I'm getting goosebumps on my arm even talking about it. I even got some lighters that they issue to people out there in NORAD.
Wow, that's pretty awesome right there.
And then skunk works and everything else, you know. I even got a drag sheet for the SR-71.
Yeah, that's some cool stuff right there. Yeah, I was just, about 2 months ago, I was reading about the Skunk Works and all their projects and stuff that they were doing out there. That's super cool. It's
like when my dad went for flying prop planes that fly, you know, it's basically the, what do they call it, the F-4 Phantom back in 54. And he went from the Flying Tigers, and then he went to, what's it called, the Voodoo Scope Wizard. And that was, he was a captain there in the Voodoo Scope Wizard. He went from props to jets.
Huh, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, those the F4 Phantom. Yeah, those. I think there was one time I was outside. I don't know if it was one of those or something else flew kind of over here. I don't know if they were at that museum, that air museum thing down there in Camarillo. But I swear it was an F4 Phantom flew by with a bunch of other planes over here.
It's hard to believe they were actually built in 54, and then they went from the F4 Phantom, then my dad started flying the F-101 Voodoos, you know, the Voodoo Scope Wizards, which was the predecessor of the F4 Phantom.
Yeah, that's super cool right there. I don't know if you ever notice, there's the planes that are down in Magoo, the Hawker Hunters, and I think they were built either in the late 50s, early 60s, and they'll come flying over here every now and then.
You seen that big old, what they call it, triplane, but that biplane, the white and red one, the guy always flies the banners. My brother was really into that guy. He had a hangar right next to him. We used to go up there and fly the banners, you know, for like 4th of July or when the fairground or, you know, thing, we'd go up there and, you know, put the banners all up there in Santa Paula, and I'd go up there and fly with him in that biplane.
Ah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't seen that guy since I've lived over here. When I was living down by the harbor, every weekend I would see that guy fly by.
It'd be Miller, insurance companies, or a whole bunch of weird stuff, or, hey, congratulations, you're being married, or blah, 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 congratulations, and all this other kind of stuff. But, a lot of old memories, you know. Back when, like I said, Santa Paula and then Jelly had that ranch right there on the other side of the airport up on the hill, dude. Like I said, I had a lot of, growing up, dude, I hate to say it, dude, it's kind of like, you know what, if children nowadays, they're stuck on that damn cell phone, dude. I mean, AI, artificial intelligence, I mean, back in my day, dude, it wasn't getting on a cell phone, it was getting on my Trail 70 or getting my XR75 or taking a hike up there and, you know, up there.
I'm going to turn this thing the way it's supposed to be, and I'll be back. Mount Shasta.
Hey, Roger, on that Mount Shasta, you got 510 and 076 John. They call me 510 on the beach out here in Ventura, California, about 60 miles northwest of Los Angeles, 73s.
Oh, no, I know where you're at. I'm going to turn it around that way.
I'll let you talk to him there, John. I gotta grab my dog before he overheats in the driveway.
I had to turn it around. I was talking to you out the backside.
Hey, how you doing up there, Mount Shasta? 076 down here, Ventura.
076 357 on the state line.
357 on the state line. Yeah, that was 510 Bill by the beach. Yeah, we were just chatting it up right there, and yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, because when you're on your backside, we can hear you.
I turned it around now. Now I'm pointing down that way, I think.
Yeah, definitely got a good signal on you down here now. 7+.
Roger, roger. It's a 6 element with a Superior M6. Roger.
Hey, Roger on that 6 element. Yeah, it's doing a heck of a trip making it down here. Sounding good.
I appreciate it, man. This is one of the Superior in Ontario built this radio, actually.
Hey, Roger on that. Yeah, I had you bouncing over 9 there a couple times. I don't even know if I'm even aimed the right way. I'm running a 3-element Mako, kind of pointed sort of that way.
Yeah, normally I'm pointed kind of out towards Hawaii, but I turned it around a little bit towards you, no doubt. Yeah, I'm right on the state line on the east side of California.
Okay, on the state line, the east side of California. Yeah, roger on that. Yeah, actually, I have my antenna pointed sideways, so I'm not pointed directly at Bill, because we're only about a half a mile away from each other. Right now, I kicked on my little RM Italy, but when we were talking, I just running barefoot, doing about 2.5 watts average on the swing, but I'm probably doing about 250 right now.
Around with this radio. Actually, I won this radio in a Stevie raffle, and I'm out of here.
Hey, well, that's super cool. Well, it's a great sounding radio. Got you right up the middle on the clarifier, and it sounds really good.
Righty. It's a Longhorn Superior N6. Running it pretty much wide open right now.
Okay, yeah, and those suckers put out some juice, definitely.
I'll put it on low, hang on. Alright, yeah, that's the low side, that's a couple hundred.
Yeah, you went from a 9 down to about a 7 on the meter.
Yeah, 410. Alright, hey, well, good talking to you, man. I lived down there in Seaweed Valley, and I had a big boat over there in Channel Islands for a while, so yeah, I'm familiar with the area, no doubt.
That's super awesome. Yeah, we're up above Channel Islands Harbor. We're back on the hill here in Ventura, so we look down that way. We can, from up here, if I climbed on the roof of my house, I could see down there. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And Simi Valley's off to the east of us.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I've been all over that place down there. Hey, 73s. I go by Romeo Delta 357 on the sideband in AM. I go by Rude. They call it Rude Dog 357 Mount Shasta.
Roger on that. That Rude Dog 357 on the AM side. I'm Patriot 76 on the AM side, and I'm World Radio 076 or just 06 on the sideband side. And then you had old 510 Bill by the beach over there. My neighbor here. We were just chatting it up, like I said, and we're gonna wave a big old hand to you out there.
All right. Have a fine one, man. Good. I'm gonna get out of here for a few minutes. I'll be back later on. We'll see if the conditions are still hanging in there. We'll see. They'll probably move around, like they were yesterday, but hey, it's better than nothing. 357 gone.
Have a good one, 357-076, clear.
Hey, 357, have a good day out there on the top of Mount Shasta. Hey, 510, hey, Bill on the beach. 2 Romeo Golf 510, alias Romeo, or World Radio 510, alias Taco Minute 510. Have a good one there. Well, 357, we're out.
Alright, Taco Minute 73. Alright, man, I'm out of here. I'll be around later on. 357, bring it dog, stay fine. I'm out of here.
Take care there, Rude Dog. God bless. Have a safe weekend. 510 Ventura clear. Get a backpack and, get 2 pounds of rice, 2 pounds of beans, and a couple of canned goods, and, hey, we're going for a week. And I actually went from Lions Camp all the way to Fillmore and hiked all the way through the whole entire way.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. I don't think kids, well, at least around here, they don't do that stuff no more. Yeah, we used to do that too. Like when we were little kids, we'd say, "Hey, I'm spending the night at so-and-so's house," and then he would say, "I'm spending the night at so-and-so," and then we'd get all our camping gear and we'd hike way back in the mountains, and we'd stay back there for 2 days, and nobody knew where we were. It was kind of dumb because nobody knew we were back there. But yeah, I don't think kids can do that anymore.
Sespe Hot Springs, you go to Lions Camp up there in Rose Valley, and you'd hike all the way to Fillmore, dude. It's kind of like, here, just drop me off here, and shit. It's like, I'll give you a call or whatever. I'd grab my bow and arrow, my 12 gauge or whatever. It's like, one time it's like, I got bit, shit, out of high school. My buddy had a Mojave Green and a thing. It's like, I got bit. I spent a week in the hospital, with I don't know how many units, like 8, 20 vials of anti-venom. About 2 or 3 weeks later, I'm hiking through Sesame, and I got my 12 gauge, and there's 3 or 4 people, surrounding this rattlesnake on the trail, and I just broke out my shotgun and shot that sucker. And I just kept walking. They're going, "What do you do?" I go, "I got bit like a month ago by one. A dead snake's a good snake. Goodbye." They all looked at me. I just kept walking.
Adios, Mr. Snake. Yep, goodbye. Yeah, I had a guy that used to do that. Boy, I haven't been to Rose Valley in a long time.
Yeah, that was back in the 80s, dude. Crazy. It's hard to believe how long it's been. Shit, you're talking 45 years ago.
Hey, you know what sucks? Is how fast that time went by. Because I think about things, I go, wow, that was 40 years ago. And I go, where did all that time go?
Yeah, shit, I'm looking at my brother. I mean, shit, he died in 11. And I'm thinking that's 15 years ago. And it just seems like it was like last week.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, this time flies by, and the older we get, the faster it seems to go. What the heck? I need to put the brakes on this stuff.
Some uni, or actually, I got sea urchins. I even got some abalone in my truck. It's like, man, I can't leave that abalone in the truck.
No, you don't want to do that, boy. Imagine if you forgot that, for a whole entire day with the sun baking on it, boy. You would never get that smell out of your truck.
Yeah, I'd say the worst is the crab, dude. The abalone's not too bad. It's when the crab, when they die, they have that weird that smell that comes out of them. So I put a couple of extra towels down in my back seat,
Yeah, I don't think I'd want any of those things to go bad. Yeah, crab would be pretty nasty, though.
But I got some nice abalone, and I got some salmon, too. Shit, I got a little bit of everything. I got 4 rockfish. I got, about 4, 5 sea urchins, some rock crab. Like I said, I don't know if I said salmon, rockfish. And what else? Oh, some sea cucumbers and some fresh ginger. Had to go over there and grab a couple of the sea whelks. The whelks, they're like little snails. They usually cut them real small and put in the clam chowder. So I think I'm gonna have seafood tonight. I guess so. I guess it's fresh. It's all moving.
Hey, Roger on that. That sounds good. Yeah, those guys, I'm surprised. I don't know if you're running anything, but yeah, right now I'm looking at my meter and I'm doing 10 watts PEP. I turned the box off and I'm just running the radio basically like stock. So I'm kind of shocked that we're making the trip up to those guys.
I just turned mine down to 50%, so I'm probably doing 30 watts.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy when they say conditions are conditions. I'm doing 10 to 12 watts PEP and you're doing 30, and we're making the trip all the way to Mount Shasta. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, you gotta realize, man, it's like we talking to Hawaii, talking to, what's his name out there, old Jack in the Shack, 010, on top of the big hill on the big island.
Yeah, boy, oh boy, Jack in the Shack, boy, he comes booming in. When I'm driving home, I usually hear him, and he's usually just pegging my meter. So, yeah, he's got a good sounding station out there.
Hey, Roger. Anyway, I see a whole bunch of things down on 38, so I'm going to float down this kind of sandbag for a little bit and see if I can kind of clean up the kitchen and figure out what I'm going to fillet, what I'm going to freeze, what I'm going to cook or whatever. Have a good one, John.
Roger, hey, that 510 Bill by the beach. All right, we'll catch you later. Good chatting with you, sir, and have yourself a good rest of the Saturday and enjoy that seafood. We'll catch you later. 076, I'm clear. That was a pretty good QSO, Bill.